and blushed like a teenager. But those sweet curves and that mouth, they were all grown up. Fuck, he was a dead man. The colonel was going to put a hit on him for sure. Hell, he'd probably do the job himself. Only 2 more weeks to tough it out, and then he could blow this joint and never see Ivy Danforth and her mouth ever again. "This place is pumping tonight." The low voice in Seth's ear startled the crap out of him. He put his finger to the earpiece and dragged his mind off Ivy, where it does not belong. "Dino, you there?" "Sorry, yes, Gaz," Seth replied. As far as everyone at the crossbar was concerned, Seth Rodrigo, security consultant, was Dean Bennett, bouncer. And that was just fine by him. It wasn't like he was ever coming back to this dump. "All quiet in my quadrant," he confirmed, except the mad thud of his pulse as the itch ramped up a little more. Ivy glanced at Dean for about the 100th time that night, peeking up at him through her fringe as she pointed the soda gun into the glass with a double shot of rum and hit the Coke button. God, he was sexy. Every time she looked at him, he was just more. She'd never met a guy who was so freaking alpha, and there'd been a lot of tough guy soldiers in her life. She'd bet her last cent Dean was ex-military. A lot of security guys were. The way he carried himself, his confidence, his economy of movement, his innate control. The other bouncers, despite their training, sucked at diffusing situations. They got all Cro-Magnon and inflamed the hell out of things, using their muscles rather than their mouths. Not Dean. He knew how to read a situation and could rapidly diffuse it with a word or a glare. He was more about the brain than the brawn, although God knew he had that too. With shoulders and biceps stretching the limits of his standard black t-shirt and long, powerful quads testing the seams of his black trousers. All that before she even got to his face. Lordy. She'd never seen a more beautifully masculine face. A cleanly shaven jaw sat in perfect counterpoint to his strong forehead. Olive skin stretched taut over cheekbones supermodels would kill for. Sinfully full lips hinted at dark deeds. Eyes the shade of rich molasses peered out from behind a long sweep of charcoal lashes which should have been girly, but just watching the man blink was a study in pure, masculine symmetry. It was his hair, however, that drew her gaze. Thick and wavy, the same color as his eyes, it looked soft and inviting. God alone knew she wanted to sink her fingers into it so damn bad. Her father would have prescribed a haircut, but to Ivy he looked like a Romani prince. Sexy and dangerous. But the man never looked at her. Or not for long, anyway. He just scanned, sweeping across the room in the same pattern, never lingering or slowing to check her out or give her a smile like the other bouncers. Always just scanning, scanning, scanning. She, however, was constantly aware of him, her body on high alert. She may not be super experienced with men, but she knew what it felt like to be aroused. And it was crazy that he could do so from 10 feet away in a crowded room without even touching her. Hell, barely even looking at her. If he ever did touch her with any kind of sexual intent, she'd probably come on the spot. Who was she kidding? She'd probably orgasm if he just accidentally brushed up against her. But he didn't do that. He never did that. Even driving her and Mary home every night after work, something he'd insisted on doing when he'd discovered they walked, he kept his distance. The strong, silent type. That's what Mary called him. And she was right. It wasn't that he didn't.